Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Vinyl Thoughts. Yes, we're still counting down my top 10 albums of all time. Today we're at number 3. If you've missed 4 through 10, look down below in the description section and you'll see the links to all the rest of those videos. But today, yes, we're going to talk about number 3. So let's go back to the year 1988. In 1988, I was a 10-year-old kid, and I was listening to a lot of rock music like Bon Jovi and Europe. You know, shit that wasn't necessarily very heavy, but it was rock, and I was finding my way into the world of rock and roll and searching around, seeing what I could find and what tickled my fancy. And then the summer of 1988, I started seeing a couple music videos on MTV a lot. One of them was for the song Sweet Child of Mine, and the other one was for the song Welcome to the Jungle. And these songs just really stuck with me, and I'm like, this is fucking great shit. And so it took many months, but eventually, I think for Christmas in 1988, my parents bought me this album, Appetite for Destruction. The copy I had was on cassette, but this is a 1987 pressing of this album. So yes, this album did come out in 1987, and I didn't hear about it until 88, because apparently it didn't make that big of a splash when it came out. And then eventually, once Sweet Child of Mine kicked in, and then a little bit later, when Paradise City came out as a single, this motherfucker blew up big time. And all I remember was, once I got this album and I listened to it, I just loved the fact that these dudes seemed fucking dangerous. And their music seemed a little bit dangerous. In fact, it was the most vulgar album I owned. I mean, there's curse words all over the fucking thing. Not only that, on the very last track, there's a woman moaning like she's having sex. And so this was kind of an awakening for me, where I was like, oh, there's extreme shit out there. Now, I get what you're saying. This isn't necessarily that extreme of an album, but remember, I was 10. And so this totally opened up my mind and really made me decide, you know what? I want to listen to more extreme and aggressive music like this. And so this album is really like the reason why I started going down a path towards heavier music. But the album on its own is a goddamn classic. Welcome to the Jungle, It's So Easy, Night Train, Mr. Brownstone, Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine, My Michelle. Look at all the goddamn amazing songs. Easily one of the best debut albums ever made, arguably. Your argument against it is pretty dumb. But let's take a look at this, since it's a 1987 pressing, and that's what I do here. We look at vinyl. So on the inner sleeve, this was the original cover art for the album, which was banned. I guess, you know, a little bit dirty and edgy for a band that at that point nobody fucking knew. And then you got some, you know, the lyrics, so you can curse along with Axl Rose. Yeah, take a look at it. That's the R side. This is the G side. So an interesting fact about the album that I didn't realize back when I originally heard it, but it became more apparent as I got older, is that the two sides are kind of different moods. So you have G, the gun side. All the songs are kind of about the gritty city life and the dangerous life of being out on the streets. And then the R side, the Roses side, are all songs about relationships and love and whatnot. And it's really interesting that they did it that way. The fact that these dudes, I say these dudes, it was probably Axl, but the fact that these dudes had that kind of concept and that kind of vision for their shit right out of the gate, it shows you why they were such a fucking amazing band. So to be fair, I actually like this cover art better than what they originally wanted to go with. This I don't know. This is more iconic. Maybe it's just because this is what it looked like when I got it. But yeah, this album totally blew me away when I first heard it. The production on it is amazing. It's produced by Mike Clink, who, funny enough, also produced my number 4 album, Megadeth, Rust in Peace. So obviously this motherfucker knew what he was doing behind the boards. And also, this is the only album that they did with this lineup, which is the classic lineup with Steven Adler on drums. And yeah, it feels like it's one of those albums that it's redundant for me to talk about how good it is, because I'm pretty sure there's probably thousands of videos on YouTube and thousands of articles on the internet talking about how amazing of an album this is. But really, it's one of those albums that not only is it amazing when you look at it, you know, objectively, subjectively, one of those two ways, or maybe both. But for me, it's just an album that was important to me for getting into heavier music, and it stuck with me all these years. You put on this fucking album, and it still blows me away. It's still one of those things that just makes you want to fucking run out and go make some music, because it's that invigorating. It's a great fucking record. Yeah. I could ramble on and on about it, but hey, there you go. My number 3 album of all time, Appetite for Destruction. Thank you for watching. Next time you see me here, we're going to be talking about number 2. Remember, if you missed all the rest of them, just look down below. I will see you guys again next time. Thanks for watching.